going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So something crazy has happened through a bag of chips or a bag of crisps, wherever you basically call Doritos where you live, and that is that, well, it's gifted somebody a PlayStation 5. Now, by liking this video, there will also be one Dorito packet waiting for you that will hold the golden key to a PlayStation 5, and this has been scientifically proven to be incorrect, but still, just drop a like because it's a really good human being thing to do. Now, on top of that though, Sony have made a historic move that I guess has peed off a lot of people who just don't live in the West, basically. So we got a ton of stuff to talk about, so click that big red subscribe button below too if you have not already. So diving into it, I want to start off with this whole Dorito situation because it seems that they're doing some type of competition and quite a few people are winning a lot of things related to the PlayStation 5. And there was one person who actually won a PlayStation 5 game, and they don't have any intentions of getting the console, but now they kind of feel obliged to get the console because they won a game for it. But what was really cool is, except this user on Reddit, as you can see posted, I was gonna wait until next year to buy it, but I guess I won't have to. And of course, he just won a PlayStation 5 through Doritos. However, someone also seems to have saved this person and commented, as you can see on screen, regarding the receipt, because in a nutshell, and a long story short, there's a small print that says, you know, if you don't show this, because, well, it's basically not if you don't show the receipt, but I mean, that's like a 99% chance that they're going to ask for some type of validation, and the receipt would be that. So without that receipt, and it clearly says it in the small print, this person could not basically claim the console. So the internet has won again for this move and potentially saving this person, because can you just imagine, you win a PlayStation 5 through a Dorito competition, right, and you're all excited and they ask for the receipt, and for some reason, because let's be honest, receipts are those things that can get lost super easy, or you just don't really care about it, except that was the golden ticket, right, and then they tell you they can't give you the console. That would just be crazy. But I just had to share this because it's one of those prizes that get put in weird things like a cereal or a back of a receipt of some kind that have this huge prize, but you kind of never really enter because you don't know what the chances are and you're not really too bothered by it because you also don't know who actually wins or not. But this just made me want a bag of Doritos, and I guess congrats to the person who won this. Now, in other news, going on to what Sony have done regarding pulling a historic move that people are calling it, that now has certain fans annoyed. So the PlayStation 5's X and circle buttons are actually switching around, but do not worry because if you don't live in Japan, it's not happening for you, okay? However, it's only for the hardware, but what's weird is if you didn't know, in Japan, the X and circle button are the opposite to the way we use it. So for example, Japanese PlayStation users would basically traditionally use circle to confirm something and X to cancel something. So of course, for everyone else in the West, we use the opposite. We use X to confirm and circle to cancel. So this is now switching, I guess, to the way we use it for these Japanese users, except it's super weird nonetheless, right? Because that's what has kicked up a lot of fuss. I mean, it's not the worst thing to happen, but it's one of those random things to happen that you feel like, was there really any need to make that change? Because if it's been going on for literally years and years and years and you've not really, you know, felt the need to change that, I don't know why it would change now. But again, I know you're probably listening to this not really bothered, but just, I guess, put the shoe on the other foot, right? Where if you use X to confirm and then Sony come out and say, well, no, X is now used to cancel something, it's going to be super weird, right? Like I said, it's not the worst thing to happen, but it's definitely going to be one of those things that you got to get used to, at least for the first couple of days, and even then, you're probably still going to make mistakes, but it comes down to a situation where you don't want to mix up the buttons. For example, if it's either continuing a mission or replaying something and then you just lose your progress in something. Like, I've been in situations like that whilst using the same buttons that I've used for like decades, right? So yes, it's not a cool thing to happen, but I guess what can you do, right? Hopefully Sony just have a simple configuration thing in place. It would basically just be the answer to all these questions. I mean, just remapping something, I don't think it's necessary in my opinion. But guys, what do you think on that stuff? Let me know in the comments below. Now, on top of that, with of course the PlayStation 5, it has now finally started to get reviews in Japan, and of course all these YouTubers, influencers, whatever you want to call these people, even media in general, are now getting their hands on it, and it's really cool because we're finding out some really interesting information. For example, right, there was a fact that I now see, because the whole situation that a lot of people are getting excited about is how quiet the console is now. I don't know about you guys, I'm guessing it depends how long you've had your PlayStation 4, but if you've had it for a good couple of years, your PlayStation should now sound like an aeroplane every time it's loading up something. It should sound like it's about to take off, right? Whereas like in its first year of having a console, like it typically doesn't get too loud, but it does overheat, right? Now the fans in the PlayStation 5 are super quiet, and after playing a game, as this person used as an example, for 80 minutes, right, the console is still super cool, which I guess is cool, right? Like that's a really nice addition, because there's nothing more bugging when you're actually enjoying a game but your right or left eye is looking on your PlayStation because you're not sure if that sound is a good or a bad thing and whether or not the console is about to explode. So I think when it comes down to that stuff, it's really cool. And you know how we've all been taking, I guess, well, we've all been making memes, right, about the size of the PlayStation 5. Well, after seeing these reviews, it seems like the console is actually a lot smaller than what the memes have been going about, I guess, comparing it to. And we've even seen like some scalable ones that actually use some valid information and so forth, but in person the console actually looks really good. So that being said, I mean it doesn't really bug me, right? Like I couldn't care how big the console is because I'm still going to be getting it nonetheless, just because I'm a big PlayStation fan in that perspective. So you kind of got to stick with that, of course. But in terms of course, the console's look, sure, they could have gone with another design, but in person, now seeing these videos, it does actually look like one of those weird futuristic consoles, which I think just looks really cool nonetheless. But let me know your thoughts on all of that stuff in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the Doritos situation. I think that's super cool. Like, that is just such a random thing to happen to you, yet such a lucky thing to happen, if that makes sense. So really cool stuff. But guys, that's gonna wrap up this video here. So subscribe for more awesome content. Hopefully we get some more information regarding the PlayStation 5 now. Considering that the Xbox is everywhere, we still have Sony being quiet in that perspective. So I don't know what they have up their sleeves, but I'm really excited to see when they do drop some moves. I guess it's like playing a game of chess right now. They're just kind of watching what Xbox are doing. So it's some interesting times. But guys, I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day. Subscribe for more awesome content, and until the next one, adios amigos.